The man who couldn't stop eating. Most people have never heard of him, and even if they have, it sounds so unreal that it barely feels possible. This story takes place in France in the late 1700s. A man named Tarare. From a very young age, something was wrong. Tarare could eat enormous amounts of food and never feel full. By the time he was a teenager, witnesses said he could eat an entire meal meant for 15 people and still be searching for more. Not because he enjoyed it, but because his body never told him to stop. He stayed strangely thin, no matter how much he ate. People noticed his stomach would swell dramatically after meals, then shrink back down hours later. He was always hot, always sweating, and he carried a strong odor that followed him everywhere. As he got older, the eating escalated. Not just cooked food, raw meat, scraps, garbage, things no one else could stomach. Doctors at the time were fascinated and disturbed. They tried to study him. Some believed his metabolism was broken. Others thought something was wrong with how his body absorbed food. Some suspected damage in the brain, but no one could explain it. Medicine simply didn't have the answers. There are stories written from that time that say Tarare began eating live animals, that food disappeared from hospital wards when he was admitted. There are even reports that, after a child went missing near one hospital, Tarare was suspected, though nothing was ever proven. And that's where history gets blurry. Some accounts may be exaggerated, some may not be true at all. But what is clear is that Tarare became someone people were afraid of. Eventually, hospitals refused to keep him, not because they hated him, but because they didn't know how to help him. Tarare died young, in his mid-20s. An autopsy showed an abnormally enlarged stomach and internal damage consistent with extreme stress on his body. Even in death, doctors were left confused. No clean answers, just questions. When we look back at stories like this, it almost feels impossible to believe. Cases like Tarare are so rare and so far removed from our own day-to-days that we can't even fully picture what it must have been like to live near him or to be him. We hear these stories and wonder what's real and what might have been exaggerated. But at the center of it is still a person, someone whose body never gave him relief, someone who never felt enough. A lot of us struggle with weight, with hunger, with food, but this was something else entirely. A reminder that sometimes there are things wrong with the body that you'd never expect. And sometimes the scariest part is not knowing why.